Hi guys, welcome back. Now the time is 20 o'clock 14 and we started our study lecture last minute. And so now we're gonna begin today's small study session. And don't wonder, and today happening a lot of events, but we are gazing from everything and directly jump into the study content because that we don't have that much time left. And we mean to go back to the student apartment to bring more 20 bags and my several machines to the new accommodation. Beziehungsweise here, but we are not in a capability to do this. The reason is obvious that it's still potential for example like at 9 o'clock, and we can potentially go back again and to take the things until tomorrow morning, like 3 to 4 o'clock. It is still in feasibilitized state. So I am not wondering, but we do the study things first because we don't have time left. This month is a serious examination month. This month is essential. So let's do it. I smell here in the living room, which is a little bit like the wine Geruch, the fall, yeah, in the air fall of the fall of this kind of nicht gegessene Blaubeer, and who generated this kind of sauces. And yeah, so so let's jump into the study set. Yeah, don't have that much thing to tell you guys today. I went to university, and after when I came back, I found today is so important. Today is so essential. There are talks like dialogues between the Federal Reserve and the European banks, and European central banks, that they discuss something, and with Bank of England and etc. From my point of view, it's not because it's not of the digital currencies, and so if it is not the currency in digital form, that is not very much relevant with my things which I currently do. The essay, I mean, but but otherwise, yeah, if I really have sufficient time, I will do a sorgfältige research about the central bank digital currency. But if they don't have it, still don't have the willingness to explore this kind of area because it's kind of new, then it does not have necessary to. So we're gonna not talk that much and directly start. And I, since long time, finally eat the rind soup in the Vietnamese dish in this kombu. And it's very much sound like the kombai, the bubble tea store, which they have several filiales in Berlin. What can I say? Because they are actually intended planning a big X event, but I hinder that, and I know them. I know they from the conscious level and how they do this. So I know their bad intention already, and the plots, so to say, they have not succeeded. They have not finished their thoughts, which to destroy me. The main purpose, actually, the main person and who surrounded university and do this kind of transaction is that actually, I guess, if I could, that is the snacks. because they got this kind of how to say that, like 斜坡, so to say the how to say this, yeah, I don't know, like the symbol very much like EY, like that annual, the accounting, the big four accounting company, and that's why, and they are always before something really accomplished, and they are doing this, and because that is a big stake, so to say. So big stake means also the risks, yeah, very risky. And so this time I have not allowed them to do that, and because I know that it's very disruptive, like almost can destroy me, and so I won't let that happen, and so I avoid before the September not to eat the conversation in this surrounded in the university field. But today, I think okay, fine, because last time the bank card was got problem, so I don't have the sufficient amount of money in the card. So I told them, oh, I want to buy this in that. It is kind of in the Rechtsbelehrung. That means the Willenserklärung that you want to buy something and you already told your transactive partners that you want to buy something, right? But they on the road with this kind of transactions, you got a problem of financial aspects, and so you cannot fulfill your proceeded transaction with your transactive partners. Then it's your problem, it's my problem, so to say, in this kind of individual case. And then I think, okay, today I need correct my mistake. And I went to this kind of Vietnamese in this. That was okay. So near the faculty, near the eco business faculty, that was okay. They are another conscious route, so to say. And it was a little bit really scary about this kind of situation. I feel like yeah. And then finally I bought the cola and the Rindfleisch super, and that was great. The Rindfleisch is extremely lecker, and afterwards when I came back, and if you eat yourself, you always feel good. This kind of good animal. And then yeah, okay. And let's see why is not functioning. 哦天呐，吓我一跳。Yeah, I don't know whether you guys know my study live stream. In my study live stream, I speak 3 languages. Yeah, I still got time today to back to hold things up here. And tomorrow we need to go to university, and we can like 5 o'clock out of the current accommodation, and then I need 6 hours to bring them to the new place, and at 12 o'clock we can go to the faculty to have that 2 hours lecture. And it is also kind of possible in here is kind of okay. Okay, this 这个笔好像不出水, so this time I don't want them to destroy, and so I have not that do that. So is that Blaubeer, or it smells like Blaubeer wine in Italy? So let's talk this. I still feel like strong possessed by my before last Vermieter, that in a poor area of Berlin, and they always destroy because they don't have anything. And so from my point of view, I don't have that responsibility to help them, because money is kind of thing, and it is really from yeah, from your own deserving, from your own side, and it is not depending on by anyone. If it is talk about the money issue, and you own yourself, you must fulfill that by yourself, and it's no one can except your family members and who in this kind of things to really give you money because that was difficult. And so现在我们就继续吧，好吗？然后如果了解买Livestream我的学习直播的，然后相信大家都知道我的一些 rules。然后其实我没有太多的规则，然后一般情况下，从语言角度而言的话，我说三种语言。第一个是英语，然后第二个是中文，然后就是我在直播频道上面最喜欢的语言，最倾向的语言就是英语，因为你说不准，其实观看这个学习直播的人，他有可能是 from many other countries. English is the general communicative language, so it doesn't matter. And the second one is Chinese. Whenever I feel like something I'm not too explain and too inconfident, so I will speak Chinese, 中文 Chinese as my second language. And the third language is my academic language, German. When I write something at current time point, only use German for me. Like it's more angenehm, it's more fließend. So let's go. Even without the pen problem, this is not functioning, and so we don't know how to dealing with it. We'll let it first here. And since they have the dialogue today between the, I would say, the neutralized financial institutes based in Europe, who have lots of control right over the decentralized financial institutions in the European continent. And they talk to some specialized bank, like specialized financial institutions who based in above island, and so to say, and one is from Korean, and this speaker actually is very much like the Professor Yang. Professor Yang, this professor, I once attended and finished his course in before last year. Yeah, last year. It's last year. It's not it's still not that far away, this kind of case. So so after their talk, while their dialogue, I sent the email to the university university control site, and then I said whether I can add the course and transform the Livestream, the credit points to the eco faculty and business faculty. And I shall not open the web when I don't know the answer, but if something I don't know, so I before everything, and I won't judge, because I think that is kind of thing doesn't from my side, and I do what I can control, like I can influence, for example. And so let's continue and use this easy pen and to do not talk that much. Usually, like yesterday, I felt like sufficient when I talk like 30 minutes, but this time today, now we're gonna only talk half of 30 minutes, And today, just now, we should first log in Henry's PowerPoint system, which they have lots of functions behind stage. And so when I first saw the Hamzi Weiss eat YouTubers video, and I found yeah, nothing new. They nothing new. Three new messages, and one from the economic systems is universal basic income is on ice, and second one, which I saw in the PC pool and have not discovered that the economic system does also have a new PowerPoint. That the political economics is said that tomorrow they will have online class, and that due to the extreme heat forecasted for tomorrow, our class will be held online. So I recently yesterday I saw the news from Tech Show, and which they are saying, which are saying in Spain actually, recently is really extremely under the heated condition actually. And another one for 1 hour that from the analysis of panel data that they are saying Q&A middle term assignment. So dear students, our Q&A session for the midterm assignment will take place this Thursday. Thursday at 10, and so that is not a take-home exam. That is present. My God, so it will have a lot of nervous energy, I guess. But we're gonna study more instead of just only one because we must ensure ourselves ourselves. And also the influence and Arbeitsmarkttheorie. I really this semester since Tina, I really cannot agree more with this point, but I just tolerate. And this week we're gonna have new speaker that he is Stefan Muro. I don't know whether you guys know that the Stefan Mao is actually won the prize winner in some academic prizes, and Stefan Mao from DRDO from kind of which kind of yeah yeah from kind of academic scholarship and etc. So this one is Murao, and he is the wissenschaftliche Leiter der Forschungsgruppe OBFA Transform Global Climate Forum or der FOB, and econom okay, the political economy mit dem Schwerpunkt Geldfinanz und etc. Finanz, Eurokrisen und okay, let's just finish the practice Übung from Japanese economy. Okay, let's go. So昨天我不是也是搬家嘛，然后结果晚上我搬回来的时候呢，我的上一个房东，然后 就把我的这个右眼，然后就弄出了很多那个红的那个血丝，然后我就是血状的那种网状的质地的那种东西，反正就是很恐怖。然后我就没有办法睁眼，然后他们就用就残忍的一些手段吧，我觉得还是没有问题。然后我就今天早上我就睡到，哎我天呐，今天早上我就睡到了中午大概12点左右。然后因为我觉得我早上醒不来，很大一部分原因是因为到里面的那种就是那种亮的那种 bright beverage 那种 energy like bling bling 的那种 water basilisk is not basilisk is like watery 的那种energy field, just too happy to let me, those kind of normal person, to wake up at least. Actually, so in this sense, we're gonna continue, and so we draw the graphic, and currently landed in window guidance. Yeah. Okay, let's go. 奶黑可以了吗？我传一个领包，然后上面是 一下，我把这个可圈点。C 的 shadow， 行，我把灯关了，然后那个灯会变亮一点，所以我们现在重新 start。就我有点我就有一点疑问，然后它的那个就是这个 PowerPoint 上面，然后其实大多数字它都是黑色的，包括 Economic System， 它其实里面的字，然后都是怎么说呢？然后都是那个黑字，或者是他们的这个 I had 的一些 folie， 然后 I had 一些 PowerPoint， 就我相对来说有点 familiar， 为什么是黑色和奶色呢？然后这个明显是黑色和白色，然后所以在这种情况下的话，直接用黑色就好了。但是这个本子它是奶色的嘛，然后所以就是，我就有点想不通这个问题。然后因为kind of 我有点想用黑色的笔了，因为我这两天不是买了一个贵的嘛，然后这个Portrait 的笔，然后我就想用了，然后但是结果还是说是可能用不了，因为如果一连接这个黑色和奶色的话，然后连接我的 before last finita， 然后就可能会比较难办这个事情，就比较难处理，所以现在目前来说怎么办呢？那画图的时候我们还是用黑色，那我们就用黑色好了。然后主要是这个，然后还有他们家的炉子嘛，不是说是0.5还是什么玩意儿，然后这个我们也尽量避免用，因为用了之后，他们的那个就是说怎么说呢，他们那个 area， 然后他们那些人，然后就是看起来其实每个人都有一个house， 但是有个问题是他们那边的 energy 其实是非常 heavy 的，然后就是很重，然后如果要 lift 起来他们的这个 energy， 所以我们就话不多说，然后就开始找 graphic。 Okay, I guys share with you guys one thing, and I feel like extremely nervous, and because here are reasons. Um, I got this semester as well rejected the master courses, and even I re-registered back to my bachelor studies because two studies was within one university, so that is eligible to transfer between the master and bachelor. If, for example, the master persons was very relaxed local, But the bachelor, they are because of the high values, so they are not very easily to let me go and let me to graduate because that was a lot of benefits stacked behind. So that we just now got to one problem, like the bachelor studies in category C, exactly the C category in Studienaufbau ABC. Abgesehen, despite of the transportation tickets, which you can buy individually, and you can also use university ticket. And if free, still free. So if you are free, is free. So to say, if the study is free and you're still using the free benefits from the free, and then it will be problematic. So from my point of view, I buy the extra ticket. I not buy the extra ticket. I not buy the Mona ticket. But it doesn't matter. And the reason is that following, which I got a little bit nervous, right? So but this week one master course that they're gonna take place, the Q&A session, means that question and answers session, and which I was mistaken understood as the midterm gonna taking place at this week around 10 o'clock the Thursday, so to say the Donnerstag, so to say the Thursday or tomorrow, I'm not sure. So there are a lot of problems actually, and so I was mistaken to mix the two courses together. Like the Einführung in Arbeitsmarkttheorie is the bachelor study angebotene course, and which you cannot convert that into the master courses like panel data analyzation. And so, to be honest, at this kind of time point, and they are indicated within the university webmail said, if I can finish to transfer 20 bags, supermarket bags, to my old apartment to the new accommodation, then I can be considered to the fast track program. I said so forth, sorry. It's okay. It's slow track was sufficient. The normal track, like my family members said, it's kind of okay. So I can have the option, but the problem is that how to use it and when to use it. And at least now, at this current time point, within this kind of 3 months, I don't have that right to choose to the funder program. And so it doesn't matter. But from my point of view, I learned to go the slow and normal track. I don't know the reason. I feel like one shouldn't only be very good in one aspect instead of all the aspect must be sufficient fulfill the requirements in every each aspect and aspect, so to say. And yeah, so we're gonna continue, right? And we even today use the black pen color, but it is extremely well, especially in the drawing graphics area. I'll show you guys. Yeah, here it is. So so to say, actually the PowerPoint is not allowed to post it anywhere else. And I once said the video is private, but to be honest, if you copy that into paper form and that digital form, and you can show that your own notes. So to say, you can show the copy version and instead of the original one. And so we're gonna continue, and yeah. So this graphic, I guess we already draw once, but still, it's a problem. And let's go. And as well, I have the advanced macroeconomics tool this semester. I feel like I feel like yeah, I feel like it's a little bit difficult, but the requirement was very low. Like you should submit one seminar arbeit like similar paper and with the home taken exam like assignment before certain date, like the 1st July, 11th July, and you submit it then to see whether you can gain the credits, and then if you can gain, then you can recredit it into the master program if you re-enroll. So that if you this semester finish the another 12 points and wait for later the semester to end you in your study program, like then I can imagine myself like already have 24, 30 credit points at least sufficient one semester. But yeah. But to be honest, the obligation obligatory is more important. So let's just continue. I got a bit stopped. I guess the most important reason is that within the graphic they have a lot of small square, and I wondered at one certain point. Actually, recently I sense a lot of like black field energy, and but they are not very much matters. So it felt a little bit heavy, but jump squares. Okay, we can jump squares. So let's continue to do this. Um, okay. Yeah, I will talk anything, everything, my style, dream, wherever I have a thoughts. And so now we come to the page 14, and we have the acting crisis. Acting Phase eigentlich, das ist wieder etwas zu sagen, aber ja, never mind. Yeah, we just write it down because recently I got a conscious connection that they're saying like acting acting crazy. So you can understand that in acton is 法案. So the 法案 which is also one living store which based in the Turkish Garden, and I don't know whether you guys know the Turkish Garden, but it is somehow the central transportation area. And so acting crisis and acting crisis, and in 2019, I guess in that time and once, yes, do not link some personal experience. Okay, so fine. So acting case. Okay, fine. So what we can think of is that the Bear Brothers that they got to insolvent, and this kind of acting case, which also happened in 2008, like a financial crisis in the time between 2008 to 2009, 2010, and yeah. So we change back to our blue pen, and yeah, 我跟他找 yellow line instead of this. The other thing is not important, but to remember. As well, I share with you guys today. I wrote the email to kind of like academic pattern that to to judge the essay, and so it was a little bit confusing at a point which they are saying why you cannot use nachdem Platzen der Immobilienblase. And I was in the environment in PC Pool, in which they have lots of TRs, in which a lot of Chinese PhDs and professors and etc. Since they are from the central area, so they are not covered their interests with the Fachbereich, so to say, the faculties. So sometimes they always tell me the truth and to give me the right direction. And so in this sense, today I very much avoid of one thing is that nach dem Platzen der Immobilienblase, because we are currently vereinbaren der Termin mit einem studentische Mitarbeiterin kritische Wirtschaftswissenschaftlerin, and and she is taking responsibility to my essay, and she gave me 0 point, and she said she could negotiate about the problem which the essay have, and they don't just like don't want student don't have a opportunity to potential to now to make their grades better and improve their grades. And so that way, I was thinking, okay, when we, 我的天呐, when we defined when we meet, for example, when we have personal meeting together, and why 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 nach dem Platzen der Immobilienblase der Platzen der Immobilienblase Aktienkrise. Eigentlich das bedeutet nicht die Klausur, aber interessanterweise hat sehr, sehr interessant, weil in der Zeit, der Zeitpunkt, dass ich war in der Pisepo und während, dass ich den Uni Webmail schreibe und habe ich mich entdeckt und genau in diesem Zeitpunkt habe ich gedacht, okay, nach oder vor. So nach dem Vorlesung oder nach dem oder vor den Vorlesungen. Das ist ein Trick, I guess. Bei der Platzen der Immobilienblase eigentlich bedeutet das nicht entweder keine Vorlesung, auch keine Seminar, auch beziehungsweise Übung. Der Folien ist eigentlich in der Übungs-PowerPoint, sozusagen Übungs-PPT. And from my perspective also, I don't know, ich weiß nicht warum, sie haben Immobilienblase des Platzen als der wörtliche Ausdrucksweise in Vorlesung bzw. Übung genannt. Und warum? Das ist eine Trump. Warum das ist eine gefährliche Trump, dass man so der Platz in der Immobilienklasse bzw. der Aktienkrise nennt. Und von meiner Perspektive aus, von meiner Sicht aus, der Immobilienblase bedeutet, du hast etwas nicht so gutes Sachen oder nicht so schöne Sachen, hast eine Verschonung genannt. Aber das Problem ist, Platzen der Immobilienblase bedeutet, dass man könnte sich in einer Immobilienblase träumen sogar und hat eine Platzen gemacht, das bedeutet, das fehlgeschlagene Immobilienblase. Genau richtig. Und warum, dass man sich wieder sozusagen fragt und warum der nach dem Platzen der Immobilienblase, beziehungsweise warum kann man das nicht negative Sachen nennen in dem E-Mail anstatt nur Positives. Und warum das ist eine implizit Regelung, dass man implizit, das ist wie eine implicit Disziplin, welche man in universitäre Webmail-Kommunikation das vermeiden müssen. Und was ich mir jetzt denke, ist, dass der Kurstransformationssachen einerseits hängt von dem die Kern zum Beispiel, andererseits hängt von dem Fachbereichsrat, beziehungsweise um diese Fächer zu kontrollieren, auch der Professor Moore, okay, the Behavior Experimental Economics von letztes Semester, das ich nur gemacht habe und dann nachgeholt und sie haben noch nicht bewerten, weil das Problem ist, sie wissen nicht genau, was der Konsequenz ist, Gesamtkonsequenz danach ist. Sie müssen das sicher sein, oder sie sagen, okay, wenn ich bewerte, wenn der Professor Moore bewertet, gibt es bestanden, aber der schlechte Not, ob du, das ist nicht removbar. Und deswegen, ob du das wählen kannst und wenn du schlechte Noten haben möchtest, dann kann er wahrscheinlich auch bewerten, aber sonst nicht. Und deswegen, das ist eine, ja, das soll man sich bedenken. Und andererseits, dass hier wieder einmal der Immobilienblase bzw. der Aktienkrise das genannt haben. Und von meiner Point of View, meiner Güte, von meiner Perspektive aus, dass man so wieder den Word-Nutzung, das wieder an der IA begrenzt haben. Und is App, is Application, Application is App, App is not, Application is not Bewerbung, App is App, Software App. Und deswegen der App eigentlich in der normal täglichen Nutzung ist, dass man nennt ja zum Beispiel in der Universität, oh Tiana, Top-Fans, sogar eine Hut, Julia-Hut. Great crazy, I just found. Okay, fine. I don't know whether you guys understood this point or not, but to be honest, and my before last Vermieter, and he always used Weixin, the Chinese WhatsApp, and make this kind of story. And so from my point of view, like Aktienkrise, IAY kind of from like Natla, so one my classmates in B class at that time and suddenly jump out like 3 years ago. Yeah, always in the university as assistant. But from my point of view, why they all accept this kind of ACE app? Why they cannot think that more complicated. Like you can also not think that too complicated, but it is too hard, right? So from my point of view, that's really a problem. And so from this kind of conclusion, that from all this that you can make a conclusion about, because the reason is one rule actually in the principle is that you cannot say something negative, so to say, and in order to not take responsibility to the things which happen negatively, and you just need to avoid this kind of bad happened thing, for example. And the second problem is that, so okay, fine. So the second problem is that could I just make a guess? And because I wrote in my previous email, that I said that if you, for example, have the positive feedback, then you can just like contact me. And if you don't, if you, for example, like do not have sufficient positive news to share with me, and then we can also choose to be silent partnership. So in this sense, can I just make a guess and where their replied email just based on my replied email to them? If, for example, this kind of conclusion be confirmed, and what that means? Actually, it is kind of like a last sentence circle, and which in my micro exams that last semester, I guess I did well, and I even used the ETH's energy because their requirement is only the UCH, Switzerland's university. But I feel like devastating, and after the exam, and they just whole building, like around 13 hours, they constantly are changing the source, and so that finally they are changed good and change the doctor's degree and etc. So weiter. And let me not know, and to say, okay, you don't pass this exam, and you must redo that. We must charge you because you ordered a Korean chicken and etc. That kind of thing is also very unacceptable. But to talk back, if we drain once in a circle, like always, the last sentence is kind of like a abbreviation of what you all done in your micro exams last semester. And could I, in this kind of state, to think that all ones will left the last sentence which they reply as positive as if you still have the potential instead of none, to decide to decide like they don't have anything to add on. And so it is kind of boring because like one single micro clausule from last semester micro exam, they always use this kind of logic, so to say, and to run in the same circle. So the determined person is absolutely still a legal professor, like Anupama, and also his also her TRs, right? So, but it seems like if this INC and the etc. still not be asked, and whether this kind of continuing webmail communication will all based on the micro clausule SMS. I don't know. I think that's really somehow a little bit boring because if you insisted within this semester for the bachelor course, and you still use this kind of logic, like which I showed in the exam, because the student does not get the copy for what they wrote. They don't have the potential to take their exam to re-examine what is going wrong and why is wrong. And actually, the examining side from professor and the TRs, that they always know what you wrote, but you sometimes forget what you wrote in your exam. You only have one time to see what is actually in the exam, but you have not the agility to remember, so to say, and that's that perspective, so to say, in these things. So S is 五嘛，so I really have lots of things to think of, to discuss with, and but I don't think it's currently the time is enough, time is sufficient that like I could think more. Yeah. So so for example, like if now I can think in this way, for example, my purpose is to gain a 10 points in the final exam. Like the final exam is 120 points. Then, if for example, like the way which I could get this kind of 10 points in the exam will be actually determined by assistant professor based in UC High and the Miko professor. So the connection between me and Annapurna professor thing, and which exists in the time counting, and which is actually this kind of current moment, and which they can directly add 35 seconds in the WeChat video, and also in the Build2 live platform, live stream, and this YouTube as well. But all their minutes, their seconds were based from a good intention, so to say, and I feel like appreciate it. And so, what is gonna be the determined factor in these things when the feedback which the Miko professor could give you, that is the immediately increasing the battery, for example, immediately increasing within 1 second, count to 35 seconds, and etc. What would be the determining factor if she can give you the 10 points in your exam? What is that actually, and what is the balance point in the university if that in the university they don't use this kind of second in time counting as the only judging criterion? And but what will be, I don't know, really, I don't know, so I don't know, so I don't I don't know, I really don't know. And from my point of view, and it is an intimacy relationship, and if you talk about book, and I can refine that, and so we make a promise pre-assumption about if we now have the access to the Kindle China, then we at least open one single step, and so to say that we can read, for example, and we can overcome the barriers which the 0852 set it, right? So that we can do further. But if we talk about the computer software, for example, and what that would be, and I don't know, like which kind of software, like BL2 platform, I need to re-download BL2 because yesterday I deleted it because I don't have the sufficient special plus in my phone, and so should contact my family members, and so I'm not in that ability to open the software, so to say. So what is determining factor for the 10 points? And so if you yeah, it's not content, it's not citation, is I don't know. So one thing is, yeah，所以这个时候其实有点困难，因为最近我们这2天呢，我们其实有很多的这个 requests，然后一方面呢是学校里面它有一个小作文，它这个就是 small essay 呢，它其实是可以加10到15分的，然后是呢现在已经说算是第2批，然后它可以加了，然后第2批的时候它没有我加，然后他们想就是好像是用这么一个 essay 的这个 baton， 然后放到这个 China 的这个招生，就是中国高考招生的这个制度上面。他们好像就是想，比如说我们学校里面的那个谁，就是 Natla， 然后他其实在学校里面和我一样待时间很长， 然后他好像觉得就是有点不公平，如果我的 so connected with those kind of top 1-2 university 的 students， 好像对我来说有点 unfair，because 他不想让我觉得要连接那么厉害的零，或者厉害的 study so。所以他好像是把我的这个 connected 这个 so 让他弄了 plain。他说那你就是 third rank，然后你是 third rank 的 Chinese students many years ago as in China. So fine. Then we can only expect the third time in which they could potentially to add 10 points in the exam. But otherwise, I really don't know. I really don't know how. But okay, let's make a small conclusion. And continue. Yeah, I hope you guys understood me. And in this sense, we're gonna not take frequently not phone call, like video call in the WeChat Chinese WhatsApp platform, and we can not open the another platform Livestream. We best currently only in YouTube. YouTube will be fine. And otherwise, I really don't know what kind of effects we should control. And so let's just continue. Yeah. 哦，对了，还有就是那个什么，就是那个我们有那个 SPO 嘛，然后 SPO 上面的规定的时间是学习，每一门课，然后如果是6个学分的话是180个小时，所以的话，这个非常重要嘛。然后，所以我们要把这个学习时间给它记下来。所以我在 YouTube 上面的这个 live stream 有点像是那个怎么说呢？有点像是一个时间计时器那种感觉。So 我们先 continue。OK，我们现在先等一下，然后有点问题。现在我们可能要下去取下箱子，然后等一下。OK，行了，那个，我们刚才呢把那个反过来的那个盖子，然后给它弄正了，然后因为是关于那个 professors 的 Chinese professor 吧，然后 应该是关于那个 Chinese professor，然后他刚才一个那个 master student has said sorry，然后我不知道 what's the reason is they don't want to transfer the course，but they are the master students and master students that's all transition into the business of the bachelor students they cannot they even capable to do this but I don't like yeah。但是我感觉到我的肚子，然后就抽了一下筋的，我感觉。然后我们就 continue。 OK，我们现在就关一下 Livestream，然后 reason 是我的上一个房东，然后叫纳萨里湖啦，然后它特别恐怖，然后现在目前住的这个地方呢，它又好像怎么着就是连接上了，然后呢，因为他算是一个医生，然后就算是一个 arts，然后呢，他会有一些就是 brain research 的这个 area，然后这些 linkage，它会一直不停的连接在那个 intimacy part 那个 area，然后就会在你的这个呼吸道里面，然后或者是你的这个 metabolism 的 system 里面，然后会加很多那种很呛的那种感觉，然后你好像就感觉就是就会想咳嗽啊这一切的，所以我不知道他们这个家庭哦，就是我之前去年住的这个地方，然后他们什么时候才能离开我的这个 living environment，就是能离开我的这个 own field。然后如果他们能尽快 这个 soul living 的话，我就非常的 appreciated about that。但是我觉得他们很难走，因为他们家很穷，然后就是 very poor，然后学校里面从上一学期自从我搬到那个 apartment 里面，然后他们都非常的 pro 这个 poor family。我不知道 reason， 我觉得很大一部分原因是因为他们家是那个有德国户口，然后他属于这个 Unfallchirurg， 然后就是那个车祸事故之后的那个医生，然后非常 scary。然后呢，他有两个女儿，一个儿子，然后一个妻子，然后他女儿，然后会不停的附着在我的那个就是 deep thoughts 里面。然后呢，他会说，如果我还有 intimacy feeling 的话，就我还觉得 feel high。然后呢，他女儿就会让他爸，然后他这个父亲，然后他就一直不停的在击打我的肚子和 intimacy part。然后呢，我就 share with you guys 说，原因就是为什么我要现在 close 这个 study Livestream。我并不想，因为我刚才学了一点点，然后我想要 continue， 就是 copy 那个 PowerPoint， 就是 writing PowerPoint down in the notes paper notes form。结果不知道点了什么 bottom， 然后直接记录了那个上一个房东，然后他就说我的这个 webmail system， 然后 Blackboard， 然后有一个 quotes， 然后有一个插号，然后因为这一学期的 exam， 然后它里面有一个 multiple choice， 然后呢，它这个 multiple choice 呢，然后他就说你要注意这个插号，但是这个其实是 none of his business and his family's business，none of his family's and his business， 然后但是呢，他就不停的用一些 small trick， 然后连接了我的肚子 area 和我的 intimacy part。我非常的想让他们leave 我的 own field， 然后 even paid high for this kind of current accommodation. And as Double A's family said, you cannot get avoid of them, but you can buy something expensive to cover them, in order to let them cannot be balanced in the reality, so that it's kind of how to say that, to not avoid them, but try to using the using the more expense to cover their lowerness, to cover their badness, to cover this kind of select the height. And you don't need to you don't need to deal with them, and you can let them exist in their Spanderstacken area, and you don't need to fight against them, and you let them exist like Buddhistic thoughts, and so they will gone some kind of day, and you wait that moment because they are poor, so they're out of their country, and say they don't have to, they cannot afford the flight tickets to go some fan country, and they never experienced to go to a far place. But I do. So once I finish my bachelor study, I will directly to apply visa and etc. to go back my home country. And in that time, we kind of can disconnect with this kind of family person and etc. I don't know, actually from last semester, all professors was very pro this kind of family, because as professor side, if you prove them, you can show to others how sympathy you are, right? As this is logic. Yeah, fine, but I'm not in any positions. I don't want to show others my sympathy. I only want them don't possess me anymore and their family. That's only request, okay? I hope one day they will live clean my soul body. One day, but but nonetheless. So let's don't talk that sadly. But we don't talk that anymore. But we try to think that one day they can live my physical and psychological body. One day, okay. So so we're gonna first close the side Livestream. We are in Aktienblasekrise, Aktienpreis Index. So that is 股价 标志标码，然后这儿有很多的价格浮动，然后 etc. So we're gonna close the study live stream and see you guys in a later time point. And we're gonna watch tax show for today because I see tax show every day. Like 德国一台的新闻频道，然后每天在8点的时候它会开始，然后19:59分59秒的时候。所以 nonetheless, time now is so guys 10:22 o'clock, 21, 22. And yeah, I got very nervous about the coming exam since only my body in China doing so well and also in the dollar area like USA. But I'm not sure how that my physical being will doing in what kind of extent. I hope things are going not wrong, but you cannot expect it more like this. And so two families, two styles, which I connect WSC as well, they are be defined as the abundant family actually, but like double S side was another way of dealing, and the WSC they could deal with another way. They are totally opposite sometimes, and they are not same, so to say. And like from my point of view, if from the WSC's perspective, their family or how they're dealing with this kind of issue, and they are jumping out like in every marginal time point to directly, actively, and positively deal this kind of issue, and to hold some small values in some guns moment, for example. But like us, like double R family, and they dealing with this to tolerate and to buy more similar place, like run some similar place, and which can, in some kind of way, similar as the hatred family, the hatred the family, which you don't owe them, but they stick in your soul, and they use this way to get away from them as well. I hope that they can live in my physical and psychological being because my intimacy part constantly beaten by them. And his daughter said, if you still have intimacy part, let my father just still beaten it until you don't have feeling. What is that thoughts? I don't want to judge, right? But we're gonna close the study live stream and see you guys in next one. And if anyone knows my study live stream, welcome to Abo. And otherwise, yeah, it's also some well construct installations to account my study time, because every course you must fulfill the study hours, right? So okay, fine. Yeah. We still wait for 1 minute, and if we open a talk show and then we converge with what have Hyperspace like a copyright issue, and so we don't want to converge with any music copyright in some television programs copyright. So this kind of copyrights we do not converge. I would say that you can keep your mind calm, but not to lose intimacy part. But the price of your healing or to your way of dealing, that is to totally cut one's intimacy part in order to give his or her a clear conscience. That is not okay. You said, I will heal this kind of person's diseases, but before you heal this kind of diseases, this one is already over, right? And then what is the sense? What is the meaning you're dealing with this kind of diseases? Diseases is the importance smaller than one's physical existence, right? If you cannot ensure the physical existence, why are you dealing this kind of diseases? If you cut one's intimacy part in order to give his or her a clear conscience, what does that mean? And if she have the intuitive part, she always can think. She always, even the mind conscious was not very clear. And what that means, why is that matters? If you said, no, you must spend 2 years more and spend so much money, like to rent a higher place as our family, and then we can we can somehow help you and etc. But what is that meaning? I should graduate like 2 years ago maximum, and now I paid so much, and I paid for your upgraded your family. I rented this place for your family. Your family. What? So I don't want to talk. I don't want to say anything about this. And if you say, okay, cool, you spend all your money, your disease will be held. And why then need you to exist? What is the meaning of your existence? So I'm really angry about this kind of point, but just tolerate, like like wait until the first bear finished, and don't want to say that much, right? So okay, guys, we're gonna see each other in next live stream, and welcome to my YouTube channel, and see you guys then. See you guys then. See you guys then.